If you've had an accident or just a fender bender, the last thing you need to do is tangle with the big city. When Classic Auto Group Collision Center can take care of all your repairs, island style, our certified technicians can repair any make or model, and we back up every repair with a lifetime warranty. Classic Auto Group Collision Center, now open at 6601 Harborside Drive, ClassicGalveston.com.
Classic Galveston, enjoy the difference, island style.
What's up, everybody? It's the middle of the day in the middle of the week, and you're listening to another Fuller Show with Josh Fuller. You're on KTXF, The Real. In the studio today, I am joined by the incredible edible band members of my band here. We've got Kevin Bull in the studio, and we have Booch in the studio. And they were all excited to get here, and then I had technical difficulties, and so they're waning already. So hopefully we're gonna get. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. All right. So both of y'all are on vacation now for the year, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, okay.
Y'all are.
I'm pretty much on vacation all the time.
You are, yeah.
I work from home.
You work from home, right? Yeah. You got all your video games.
30-foot commute.
So you had to get dressed to come over here.
Absolutely.
It always sucks when you have to put clothes on.
Yeah, it does. But
all right. So, what's your big plans for the rest of the year vacation here, Kevin?
Not work.
Not work.
Just not work. Just
enjoy the new grandbaby.
Just sleep late, play with the grandbaby.
Yeah.
Still got a gig or two left.
Yeah.
And
speaking of, I guess we're playing tomorrow night. I'm playing tomorrow night at NB Glass and Tomball. I'd like to get that information out early. And then Friday, we're playing full band at Cole's Smokehouse in Splendora, and we'll talk about all that in a little bit. But we also have Randy here, and he's trying to set up some video for us.
I am live on mine.
And he is.
Log into yours.
All right. So when we take our first break, I think we'll log in and we'll do a little Facebook Live action with some multi-camera amazingness here. So, all right. So, Booch, you said you have some special headphones there, some custom.
Well, yeah, I'm actually, and the cool part is I'm not even using them. So
he's not even using them, but he said they were made for him by the man himself.
Well, yeah.
You were lying?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Sounded good when I walked in. So I figured, gotta have an opening.
You gotta have an opening. That's what I'm trying to.
But yeah, these are like $199 at Best Buy, but they're pretty good headphones.
Pretty good headphones?
Yeah, oh yeah. Sennheiser.
You brought a fancy microphone. I had to whip out my fancy microphone because Boots showed up and I had microphone envy.
Right. Well, mine's an AKG. Mine's bigger than yours.
Booch's is sparkly.
Mine's clearer too.
But you have this big old mic, but you're staying far away from it, like you're scared of it.
Well, there's a story. There's a reason why I have a big mic.
Oh.
Why
you stay? Are you afraid of large things coming at your face?
No. I like I was telling you earlier. I'm a drummer, so I don't have vocal mics, right?
Right.
But a while back, I had a little studio I set up in my house, which is what I think most drummers do, right?
Yeah. All drummers want to be technicians in studio. Like, look at no way, he's a bass player. Never mind. Keep going.
But anyway, so I have a bunch of drum mics, which they sound terrible when you speak through a drum mic. It's all muffled.
Yeah.
And so I got this mic.
We should probably get him a vocal mic for harmonies then.
No, don't run the ambiance.
No. I like watching him lean over and sing into a snare kit. So
if we could just get him to stop licking it while he's down there.
Hey, well,
it's got to taste terrible.
It's not good. But I won't lie.
I feel a bunch of drummer jokes coming on.
No, you guys do all those.
Yeah,
I do the guitarists and artists.
Right, it's the same jokes, just with a different setup.
Yeah.
It's
the same jokes. They're all the same.
Right. I got you. Well, hey, everybody, before I forget, y'all can text into the show if you guys want to be a part of the shenanigans. We're getting warmed up here. These guys have a little bit of stage fright, but we're going to get them worked in. But text into the show, 832-910-7359, and they'll come right to us, and we can talk back to you and give you props over the I guess it's not the airwaves, is it? The interwaves?
Yeah, something.
Have we coined a word for this yet?
Outer waves.
Outer waves?
Outer waves.
Not the
interwebs.
You got the interwebs and the outer waves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's cool. Well, all right. Well, just for the sake of entertainment and everybody, I usually entertain artists and musicians and all this other stuff. So we'll get going and we'll make it all personal and be kind of off the cuff as we go. But let's start with some stuff like how long have you been playing, Kevin? Like when you started playing music, not just like, hey, I want to learn the guitar, but I mean, when you finally got good enough at it to where you're going to go get a gig and all that, how long ago was that?
God, I was playing in a band in high school, so that was probably 1978, 79.
Okay.
I was playing in a band in high school.
I was 3.
Nice.
We played some Beatles covers, and some of those guys are still in bands today. Jim Ashby, who now goes by Jamie, plays in a couple of bands, McClanahan's, and they do a bunch of 80s. Great musician. But since then, I've been playing in bands or teaching lessons or, something going on the side. I've always had guitars.
How old's that guitar of yours?
The Strat I play, I got brand new in 1981 for high school graduation. So
Plays it every night.
I'm the only owner. It's still a USA. It was the last of the USA made Strats. And back then, the drinking age was 18, so I could buy beer and play that guitar. So
Sweet.
I've had it a long time.
What about you, Boochie Poo? How long you been playing?
Oh, man. It's a long time. So I thought I'd started when I was about 7 years old, but I found an old picture, and it had a date on the back, and I was actually 5 years old when I first you get that kid set.
Would you say you peaked at 7?
Oh, yeah.
I thought he
Pretty
picked
much.
at 8.
I was,
Peaked at 8?
I was, by the
That's some
time
of
I
his
was
best
9,
work.
I had carpal tunnel. I was done. No,
Yeah.
So I had one of those kids drum sets that your parents buy, and of course I tore it up. I mean, it didn't last a year, and then after that I just played on whatever I could find for years,
Right.
until my sophomore year. My parents actually.
And so before I was lucky enough to find you at an open mic night, you had just come back from California on quite a journey.
Yeah, I mean, I spent close to 10 years out there and spent a lot of time playing in a few different bands, but there was one main band I went out with, and it was a bunch of guys that I went to college with, so right up the road at Sam Houston State. So, we got together and started a band and moved out there and played for years, and, we never made the big time, but we played a lot of cool college
Sold out the Roxy
shows.
on a CD release party.
CD release party, sold out the Roxy. It was pretty fun. There was an old picture, because back in that day, in the mid-'90s, they were still using like regular cameras, not phones, to take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a picture of a line of people going out the door, and us, our name on the marquee. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's crazy. So back then, if you wanted to take a picture of bands at the show, you had to put some work into it. You had to show up with your camera,
Load your film,
take it, take it to the place, get it developed, and all that good stuff. And the band would never probably see it. And now everybody watches live events through their phone. And how often do you think people actually go back and look at what they took or what they saw? I mean, are they just using the bathroom a little bit later and be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Remember when I sang along terribly to that song?
Yeah, so, I mean, now they have to pull out the old photo albums to take a look at that, whereas, nowadays on Facebook, it's all right there.
Right, you had to put it in file collection.
Just 5 years ago. Facebook will remind you about it.
One of my guys in Austin, his wife is a semi-professional photographer, and they went to a Willie Nelson show, and her and everybody else took pictures, but when she got home, she doctored hers up a little bit and posted it on Facebook, and Willie Nelson's people contacted her, and her and a couple other people, and they ended up using her photo from a show is the actual album cover.
All right.
Of the Willie and Sons, and so it's kind of a cool deal that, you're talking about cameras, and there they go to the show and end up getting a little money and a little fame out of it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I don't know about being a semi-pro photographer, but I have put thought into being a pro semi-photographer. Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be pretty cool. You could just do a wide-angle lens.
So come to our shows and take pictures, and maybe we'll use them for something.
Well, here's what really frustrates me. Actually, how many out of all the people you see at our shows taking film and video, how many times have you been tagged and shown that video to see later? Like that, it drives me nuts that, everybody's like, do you have any pictures or live footage of your show? And I'm going, well, I should. Out there somewhere is a whole ton of it, but nobody ever posts it or shares it.
Right.
Maybe, I think they all do the same thing. I think
maybe you just need closer friends. I don't know.
No, they all video and sing along, and they realize how terrible they sing, and they don't post it. Maybe that's it. Or maybe I do need better friends. I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe, I think it's y'all's friends taking pictures.
But my friends know better. I've run several cameras.
Yeah. Well, we got Randy here running several for us right now.
That's why it's not working.
It is working. We are live on Facebook on my stream.
Okay.
So, see?
So it's going somewhere.
It's going somewhere. Ain't perfect.
Well, I'll apologize.
It's
Do I need to-
definitely live.
Do I need to shut these blinds so we can get the
Nah, you're fine.
okay. And I have lights in the guest room over there.
Don't
too.
shut the
ask
blinds. You know
why.
what that does to Kevin.
We might bring one in later in the break. or
I took
something like
all
that.
my photography lights out of here and I put them in the guest room. And I'm just really worried that I'm gonna forget. And the next person that shows up to stay the night as a guest is gonna be like, is there some kind of agreement I wasn't aware of? What's going on in here?
If I'm watching a movie in room 6, how do I know I'm not the movie in room 7?
Right.
Exactly.
Where you are.
Exactly. Oh, my
Josh has
goodness.
to entertain himself somehow. So.
Well, yeah, I do, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point. Lacey said we're nerds, by the way. She's tuned in to the TuneIn app, and she's texting into the show.
Tell her to get back to work.
She knows. Right? She's just jealous and I'm on vacation. She's not.
Oh, yeah. How
Actually,
much longer
I
does
wish
she have
she
to
were.
go?
I wish she were. She probably has to work at least up until Friday. I think Friday she's off, so we'll do something cool then.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Friday you do have a show.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So I guess we will do something cool after that.
After the show.
After we do something cool, we'll do something cooler.
After we
full
come play
alert.
with you. Oh, do something cooler.
Now we're nerds.
Something cooler with a
There we go,
fuller.
there
Yeah,
you
now
go.
you definitely took it to nerd
Now we're
level.
nerds.
Absolutely. Absolutely took it to nerd level. So, this is also a sports station that we're on
Oh, cool.
right now. And so we break it up with kind of a...
He doesn't have a cough button.
Kevin's cough button.
Like nobody can hear it because he put the pillow in front of his
He puts
face.
his face into a pillow. You look pretty natural at that. But so anyway, so they, usually they do the Talking with Stros on this show, and they have some other things,
Right.
the Dynamo stuff, and
Cool.
so we break it up with music show, but we also can talk about sports if we want to. We can talk about whatever you guys have on your mind, and if you guys have something you want to talk about too. One thing I read this week was, did y'all see that tweet where Kaepernick said that he wanted to go in with Jay-Z and buy the Panthers? And
Was that real? I thought that was a joke.
it may have been a fake account, but it had the little check mark next to his name and everything.
Huh? I don't know. I really thought it was a joke because I laughed at it pretty hard. But
I tried to turn it into a joke. I said they'd be the easiest team to beat after that. They just go in, kneel 4 times, and then it's your ball again.
Wow. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
So how about them? Did you get to go to any of the playoff games or anything?
No, I didn't. But I definitely watched the games. Some of the games were very difficult to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I was like everybody else. I think I was turning it off, turning it back on, turning it on.
Yeah.
It's just like I didn't want to know, but I wanted to know, and it was rough. It was just after so many years of being an Astros fan, it was just a wild ride. It was great. It was a great ride, but it was tough. in some
Oh
parts.
yeah. Well, during the Yankees part of it, I was sick, and so I would take NyQuil and try to stay awake till the game.
Did you wake up for the
I
good
kept
parts?
waking up and dozing off, and then I was dreaming, and then I'd wake up and be like, "Oh, it'd be cool if he hit a triple right here." Bam! He hits a triple, and you're like, "What?
Yeah.
That's so crazy."
Yeah.
You had season tickets. Did you get to go to any of the playoff games?
You know what? We didn't. We
Oh,
didn't.
man.
We didn't get to go in the playoff games. My son won
Oh yeah,
on the
tell-
radio.
Yeah.
He Jim McInville gave away some seats to Michael Berry for veterans and first responders. My oldest son is a Marine that served in Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan.
Yep.
And so Michael drew his name, and he flew to L.A. for Game 6.
Yeah.
And they had a charter jet and flew out there, and the whole nice seats, the whole deal. But they lost that game, and then got in a giant L.A. traffic jam. They got back about 6 in the morning. It was a long day, but
How cool was that of Jim to do that, man? Gallery Furniture, folks. Jim, Mattress Mac has just always taken care of the community, but veterans and first responders, and this time Kevin's boy got to be a part of that. That's really cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Very
I
cool.
was very proud to see that and hear about that. And Ramon got to take his dad too, right?
Yeah.
Yep, which was cool.
It's cool too. Yeah.
That would be so fun. Me and Kevin have been on a private jet before. Have you ever been on a private jet before?
Yeah, but it's been a long time. It was well
Yeah.
before what you guys did, so I didn't get invited to that.
Where'd you go
That's
on a
okay.
private jet, Josh?
Oh, I went to Birmingham, Alabama.
What for?
Michael Berry was doing a
Michael Berry, the talk show host?
Yeah, he's a talk show host.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's called the Czar in some circles.
Yeah, Czar.
But he wanted Kevin and I to come up, and he wanted the whole band to come. I think, but we.
But you just didn't want to invite
Y'all
me.
had jobs.
Thanks.
No, y'all
No,
had
I'm
jobs,
sad.
and you couldn't
I'm
take
sad.
vacation.
Right.
Something like that. But it worked out good because he offered to fly us to Birmingham, Alabama. And Russell Ibarra, of course, he offered it, but it was Russell Ibarra's decision. it was Russell's plane, but
Right.
Michael offered it. But yeah, well, then at the last minute, what was really cool was something came up and he couldn't go. And he easily could have just said, hey, dudes, sorry, man, I wanted to take y'all up there, but I just can't. I hope y'all, good luck. But he didn't. He sent his boy with him with instructions to not let us pay for anything and to take care of us and give us a good time. And Derek took really good care of us. And
Had a great time with Derek.
We flew up there, and it was, 2.5 hours from Hobby Airport to checking into our hotel. Just bam, bam, there we are.
Yeah. Heard a lot of stories about that trip.
It was a good trip. That was a good trip. That's something that I definitely am grateful happened because I would probably never gotten a chance to do that otherwise. It's really cool.
Yep.
How long did we play that night, Kevin?
I think we played 5.5 hours.
I thought it was
nonstop.
7.
Might have been 7.
And how many times did we take a break?
0.
How
no
many
breaks.
drinks did we drink?
Close to 100.
How many times did we pee?
0.
That's why we didn't take a break. But, you got to ask, though, because some people will just go ahead and pee. Filibusters do it.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Filibusters do it.
And what's the
That's
secret to
rough.
not going to the bathroom?
Don't break the seal.
Don't break the seal. That's where that came from.
Don't break the seal, man.
yeah, but 100 drinks, I mean.
There was
Dude,
not
it
between
looked like Lyle Lovett's entire orchestra had been binge drinking that night on that stage. It was ridiculous.
There was Josh and I with acoustics, and some guy that lived there had like 700 harmonicas, and he joined us.
Oh,
and then
wow.
Michael, and we were just setting empty drinks on the drum riser because we didn't take a drummer with us. So
Yeah.
we had lots of room. You
Yeah.
don't realize how much room a drummer takes up until,
Yeah,
till
a
you
lot.
set, till you
A lot
set
of-
400 empty
That's
beer cans up
That's
there,
a lot
and
of
then you
drinks
realize
a lot of drinks
He-
you can set over there.
Yeah, the drummers take up all your drink space.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And we were chugging them. I don't know. I really don't know. But when you play that long, I guess it just adds up. But it looked
So
like a
was it
binge
one of those
fest.
deals where Michael's just calling out song
Oh,
after
yeah.
song after
Oh,
song?
yeah.
Like, here, do this, do this.
Yeah. It was also the first time I ever heard Roll Tide Roll during Sweet Home Alabama. It scared the crap out of me.
Well, you're in Alabama.
I thought I was messing up. I knew I was in Alabama singing Sweet Home Alabama. I thought that was the end of the
Right.
irony.
You got
Yeah.
it. You're doing good.
And also we were like, Sweet Home Alabama, when we hear, Roll Tide Roll! And I'm going, what?
yeah.
Am I in trouble? Like, did I make them mad? I mean,
No.
you got, how many people were there?
There was like 800 or 900 people
Yeah.
in that little bar.
And they're all
They
just...
were all touching each other and trading DNA and buying us beers. It was packed.
trading DNA and buying beer.
It was. It was.
Lord.
That place was built for 200, and there was 900 people in there. It's like being on a subway train and playing a gig. It was.
Yeah.
It was packed.
It was nuts. But yeah, they yell Roll Tide Roll, and I go, I couldn't understand. And then finally, I think by the third or fourth time, I realized what they were saying.
Yeah.
And I was going, man, but I'm terrible when it comes to college sports. So if I had known college sports well, then you all right over there, Kevin?
Yeah, it's my bones creaking. Kind of old.
Trying to run a professional operation over here.
Oh, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Since when?
Yeah.
Well, since I started 30 minutes late.
When did
Yeah,
that start?
I was about to say you were on time for that too.
Exactly.
That's very cool.
Man, I'm looking forward to Coles. It's going to be pretty good, except it's supposed to be raining.
It's
But that
covered.
stage is awesome.
It's covered. It's
Yeah.
a good stage. They got heaters. It's a nice
Yeah.
sound system. It's an easy setup, which for a band
Mm-hmm.
is. People don't understand how much trouble it is. Some places you got to drag your gear upstairs or
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
through
drummers know.
stairways or whatever.
Pretty sure drummers know. Just
Yeah,
pretty sure.
First gig I
Yeah.
got.
but not musicians, just drummers.
Oh, there
First
it
paid
is. This is the first one.
First paid gig I had as a band. Didn't even have a lead guitarist. You were there.
Oh,
David
sorry.
Eason was my second guitarist.
Oh, yeah, I just saw David.
We just
David,
I know. I
Yeah.
was really jealous I didn't get invited to that.
I don't know what happened.
But so the very first paid gig we got was in Dallas, downtown Dallas. I forget the name of the venue. Do you remember the name?
City something. City.
Good
Streets?
job. So it was City something. City
yeah.
Tavern, City.
I don't know. Maybe one of those.
But it was an old building and had those really steep stairs. And you had to go upstairs to load in. And it was just me, a bass player, David Eason, and you.
Yeah, and that's the same show where they literally told me to turn down the
So
snare.
funny.
First time and only time that's ever happened. Sir, can you turn down your snare? Sure, let me get that volume up.
He
I can play softer.
We were at the beginning. We didn't even have drum mics back then. There was nothing to turn down. And it was the people in the first floor complaining about the noise coming from the second floor. So it was like, can you turn your snare down? It's like, no.
I can play dynamically, but I don't do that. So
no, you're a rip it drummer.
Yeah, I'm not really a drummer.
You just beat stuff.
Yeah, just hit stuff. Somehow I've gotten away with it all these years. I don't know how.
It works. It works.
You keep hiring me for gigs. So.
Yeah, I do.
Glutton for punishment.
And I'm not the only one. You get to play with some other people. Our buddy Matt Rawls.
Yeah, play with Matt. Yeah, absolutely. We're not doing that many shows right now, but we got some stuff coming up.
And what's that group you get with once a year? Or
actually, we have in the past couple of years, but Natives Are Restless.
Yeah,
they're real popular around the Conroe area, north side. These guys are great musicians. Been lucky to play with a lot of really, really good musicians.
Yeah.
And me.
And Kevin. And Kevin. Yeah. So there's that.
Well, then we get to do the Jam Fest with Captain Legendary Band.
Oh, yeah. That's always
Dub
cool.
Miller.
Yeah. That's always cool.
The anniversary show at the RCC is always a good time.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Captain Legendary, those guys are legendary. At least, you know.
You're a big fan.
Yeah, I don't have my shirt on today. I should have brought it. But
I even gave you a heads up that you should bring it.
They're gonna be mad at me that I'm not wearing the shirt on the show, I'm sure. Or maybe not. Maybe it's better.
No, they want your support. They do.
They're good. Those guys are awesome.
They're playing with Jared Birmingham at the newly redone
Yeah,
Schrader
Matt
Hall.
Grohl redid that. Well,
Yeah.
him
For
and
y'all,
others.
for y'all who don't know out there in radio land, the Schrader Hall was put on eBay and bought, and then Matt Grohl, who is on the Captain Legendary Band, him and his brother have restored it completely to amazingly
Yeah, it looks phenomenal from what I've seen. I haven't been there, but
the pictures look
are
incredible.
Amazing. Yeah, Matt did a lot of hard work. Him and his brother.
Yep,
pretty incredible what they've been able to do.
It's amazing. I mean, I already knew they had a little construction job on the side, but watching them do that was just And Hurricane Harvey didn't slow them down a bit.
Not at all. I would have thought there would have been more of a hiccup because of that, but there wasn't at all. So
yeah, it was pretty impressive. So if you guys hear these random sounds that you aren't used to hearing, it's because the kids got off a half a day early today, and they are being
sweet.
They are running around the house tearing stuff up, and
that's what I would do if I got off school for half a day.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm doing it now. I'm just on vacation. So, I mean,
when are you going to get that GED?
Oh man, I'm way past that. It's too late. Save yourself.
Too late for me now.
Save yourself.
Too late for me now. Oh my gosh.
I went to college.
You did? Yeah. I didn't.
Sam State, like I said.
Oh yeah.
Another plug.
Eat 'em up Bearcats.
That's right. Went to semifinals this year and lost to the same team we lose to every time we go to semifinals. But no, they had a great season though. So
and Kevin's a Baylor Bear.
Baylor Bear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm a New Waverly Bulldog.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
We didn't go to college. None of the teams
did.
That's
all right.
I'm just kidding. Most of them probably went to college, but I did not.
Yeah, well, and that's not the only thing in the world to do. You know? There's a lot of stuff
not.
out there.
The way it worked out for me, I had my GED before my classmates had their diploma.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm done.
I'm out. I'm done. Got my good enough degree, and I'm on my way.
I've never heard it called that. But that's
not
pretty
from
funny.
not leaves not.
I can't take full credit for that one. That's a Chris Rock one.
Oh, okay.
Good enough degree.
Good enough degree.
I have to do some impressions today. We got Hank Hill over here, and we've got our David Grohl over there.
Oh, I don't do. No. Ain't talking about the Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
That's Dave Grohl doing Christopher Walken.
We'll get into it. We can't give him all that stuff all at one time.
Foo Fighters.
Dang, he gave it to him now.
No, it's just
shot early.
It's out of context.
If he'll do that and then Lolo Cat, we're done.
Dave.
No cat.
Yeah, I'm not doing no cat.
Oh no, we can't do it yet.
No, that's way too early,
dude. That's the closer. That's people close their checks.
Save something for later.
Yeah, doing no cat.
Yeah.
But all right. So I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick break, real quick. Kevin, when was your first show? Your very first paid gig?
Paid gig. Oh my God. We played, some guys had an automotive business and they paid us to play country music and we didn't know any. we just faked it. And it was on a Friday night in probably 78 on 1314 in Conroe.
Wow.
And we just started playing and making up songs as we went along, and they were drinking so much they didn't care.
Man.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty good. We'll see y'all in a minute.
It was long ago, seems like yesterday. Saw you standing in the rain, then I heard you say, I want to love but it comes out wrong. I want to live but I don't belong. I close my eyes and I see blood and roses. Flowers in the springtime. October we were wet. In wintertime the roses died. Her blood ran cold and then she said, I want to love but it comes out wrong. I want to live but I don't belong. I close my eyes and I see blood and roses.
Traditions like the Christmas tree, where we go out and we chop down a tree and we put it in our living room. Kind of sounds like the behavior of a drunk man, really. Some woman wakes up, honey, why is there a pine tree in our living room? I like it. We're gonna decorate it for Jesus. And then I'm gonna hang my socks over the fireplace. Fill them with candy. Maybe I'll tie some leaves to the ceiling, see if I can get some action. But now I gotta puke on that couch. Merry Christmas. Some people get so into Christmas they decorate their yards. It seems completely backwards. All right, chop down that tree, bring it in here. Take all these lights, put them out there. Oh, I really gotta get a job. He's anti-Christmas. Easter, that's a weird tradition. Easter, the day Jesus rose from the dead. What should we do? How about eggs? Well, what does that have to do with Jesus? All right, we'll hide them. I don't follow your logic. Don't worry, there's a bunny. Ridiculous. Thanksgiving, it's like we didn't even try to come up with a tradition. The tradition is we overeat. Hey, how about at Thanksgiving we just eat a lot? We do that every day. Oh, what if we eat a lot with people that annoy the hell out of us? Oh, he's anti-family. Mostly use holidays so we can eat more. You know, I normally don't have a burger, a brat, and a steak, but it is 4th of July. And I need the energy if I'm going to start blowing crap up. That's what the founding fathers would want. My favorite holiday is Halloween, and not just because women use it as an excuse to dress like prostitutes. You ladies totally do. I'm a witch if she was a hooker. I'm Little Miss Muffet. I'm sure you are. Hey, that almost sounded dirty, fella. As a kid, Halloween was amazing. You dress like a superhero, you bang on your neighbor's door, and they give you candy. I do that today. My neighbor wants me arrested. Probably because I make a hot cat woman. Kitty wants some candy. Remember that from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? And they wonder why we do drugs. Oh, that was negative. How about those traditions, fellow? Why don't you go back to that? Valentine's Day, the tradition is we give each other those big red hearts filled with the Gamble chocolate. Have you ever eaten any chocolate out of those big red hearts with any confidence? Well, this could either be really good or totally nasty. And I'm just pig enough to find out. I got the one filled with toothpaste. I'm going to have to eat another 9 to get rid of that flavor. There's the big red hearts filled with the Gamble chocolate, or the tiny chalk heart-shaped antacids. I know I make you nauseous. Here's a Tums with Hug Me written on it. Maybe that'll help. I know nothing about Saint Valentine. I assume he's the patron saint of overpriced greeting cards. That's an odd ritual, really. You know, we go out and we buy cards that already have things written in them. It's like, hey, that's something I'd say. Just add my name here at the bottom. There you go! You like what that other guy wrote in there? Took me 5 seconds to find it. Cost me $2. Greeting cards would make sense if there was something profound written in there, but it's always like, happy birthday! Couldn't think of that yourself? I'm not a slogan machine.
Relax, enjoy the difference at Classic Galveston.
Hi, I'm Howie Bentley, owner of Classic Auto Group Galveston, inviting you to the classic way of doing business, which means the customer always comes first. Need service after the sale? We've got you covered with our service parts and body shop. Let us cater to your needs the classic way, island style. Visit us at ClassicGalveston.com.
Classic Galveston, enjoy the difference, island style.
Y'all all right?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. We back. Welcome back to the Josh Fuller Show.
Pause for effect.
Last week, I tried to do the censoring part myself from like, it's another Fuller Show. It just still sounds the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like I censored it at
And
all.
nobody can guess what you're saying.
Nobody can guess what I'm saying. It's the Shoot Show or the Shut Show Or the
Or
shot show.
Yeah.
Shat show.
You're going to run out.
You're
gonna run.
I don't even think there's any more words that start like that.
No, better not quit. You better quit looking for them.
So we were talking about drummers and studios.
Oh, yeah.
While we were off the air mostly. And Kevin has we stopped him in the middle of it because we sensed it was going to be good. So, Kevin, let's hear this story about a studio at a drummer's house.
It's not that good a story, but I'll go anyway.
Make it good. I mean,
So we were, we're a guy I work for. He owns Cole's Smokehouse, by the way. We were recording some stuff for him, and the drummer's name was Geronimo. Honest to God.
All right.
And as most drummers go, he had a studio. And so we were going to record some stuff at Geronimo's place. And it was down by Galveston somewhere. I'm not sure. It was a town about the size of a chiclet. And his recording studio was literally 12 feet from a railroad track. I've never seen a building this close to a railroad track. And so we would get everything set up and we'd get ready and and we were still on tape back then. We weren't doing, the Pro Tools thing. It was still tape. And before he'd punch the button, he'd go look out the back door and turn his head left and turn his head right. And I think his mama taught him because he'd turn his head left one more time before he crossed the street. And then he'd shut the door and make the motion and you'd start recording. And you had at least, 4 minutes before a train came by. And when a train came by, I mean, it's an old wooden building with just up on blocks. It just rattled. You just knew it was going to turn over.
So you're saying he did a lot of train songs?
Everything had a train beat to it, whether it was a ballad or not.
Right.
I could just imagine he's sitting there, but like in the moment, he totally forgets, and a train comes by in the sweet spot. He's like, "Damn it! Yeah. I gotta go cut all that tape out now."
How many times?
It was tape too.
How many
That's
times
the
do you
thing.
forget to look for the train?
Oh, man.
Damn.
So was it like analog tape, or are you talking about ADAT and stuff like that? DA88, the digital stuff.
It was old 8-track.
It was old 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
man.
So that's a nightmare if you're talking about
Yeah.
interruptions. Yeah.
You just take 47. Why is it such a busy line?
Yeah.
Maybe you should write shorter songs.
Shorter songs and longer trains.
I bet he learned how to splice.
Just saying, he had to get good.
Yeah.
Or a lot of low end in those songs.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. He just worked it in.
Yeah.
Train's on track 5, literally.
Just leave a
Yeah.
mic out.
I'm gonna need a reverb pedal. No, you won't.
Yeah. Right.
Not today.
That is
not today.
funny,
That's
man.
good stuff.
It's like New Waverly is 2A ball, and so every place we played was 2A. I
Yeah.
swear every school has every 2A school
It's
has
a
a railroad
requirement.
track.
Yeah, it's a
right
requirement.
next to it.
Yeah.
And it's within oops distance. Like I think they're trying to weed us out slowly. Like, man, what are we gonna do with all these rednecks? Put it by a train track.
Yeah.
It'll weed out the ignorant ones.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it here. The Darwin Awards over
Well,
there. But
remember we used to go to Palestine to play a gig, and on the way up there was a place right by the railroad track that was a bail bond place.
yeah, it was
and it had a
playground.
Had a playground in it.
And it was on the way to Palestine. It wasn't in Palestine.
Yeah.
It was past. I remember it was past Trinity.
Well, you do need a place for the kids
Yeah.
to play where you're getting your bond stuff.
You kids go get on the
Come
swing
on.
set while Mama gets Daddy out of jail.
And it was permanent playgrounds.
Yeah, it wasn't that little taxi
Yeah. It was
Better than most parks.
Yeah, it was in there. We saw some kids swinging on it, and the legs stayed in the ground.
Yeah.
They didn't even wobble up and out of the ground.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell it was a nice place because it was across the street from a Dairy Queen.
Yeah, Dairy Queen.
Oh, yeah. You got to be across the street from the Dairy Queen.
You kids go across the street and get you a peanut buster parfait and come play in the playground while I get Daddy out of the pokey.
How come Daddy and Aunt Sue always get arrested together?
Right.
I don't know. How come you don't talk like us? Good old redneck jokes, yeah. Whew, it's getting hot in here.
Good time.
Y'all got me laughing now.
It's a little warm. A little warm.
What position did you play at Sam?
I played defensive tackle for Sam State
Yeah.
for a little while until I blew out my other knee. I blew out one in high school, blew out one in college. So
That's all of them, isn't it?
That's all of them.
That's all of them. That's all I had. Yeah.
And y'all wouldn't believe
it
it,
was a lot of fun.
but old Kevin Bull here was a massively
Well, look at him.
talented
He can run
runner.
like a gazelle.
I
Middle,
know.
like a gazelle, even
Middle
now.
distance runner. I had no sprint speed whatsoever. You couldn't drag me behind a Buick quick enough to outrun somebody in the 100-yard dash. My dad, in his 40s, who smoked, could outrun me in 100. But give me a half mile to put some whooping on you, and I wear you down like a whetstone. I'd get in your head.
And that's how he met his wife.
Yeah, she didn't want to marry me, but I just wore her down.
Wear them down.
I'm relentless.
Just kept chasing her.
Yep.
Just kept chasing her.
Yep.
So one of the funniest stories that I remember you telling me about your running days is about your buddy, and y'all were breaking Christmas lights, wasn't it?
It's a Christmas
It's
story.
a Christmas
This is
story.
a Christmas story.
Yeah.
So back in the day, a long, long time ago, Christmas bulbs were decent size. They were like C5.
And made by Thomas Edison.
Made by Thomas Edison. They were all handmade.
Yeah.
And if you unscrewed one Christmas bulb, the rest of the string didn't work, and neither did any of the ones plugged in after it. So they lived in a golf course neighborhood called River Plantation. And so we were going around taking just one or two light bulbs out of everybody's Christmas decoration because it just seemed like the thing to do. And then if they caught us, we'd just run. And we were all on the track team. We're all in great shape. The homeowners aren't going to catch us. And so this guy came out, Jerry Fuquay, had a pocket full of bulbs in his sweatpants. This guy started chasing us, and we were running, and it was dark, and it was a full moon. And we're laughing because he has no shot at catching us. And Jerry's out front because he won state in the half back when we still ran the half. And he could run. And he was out front moving like a gazelle. And he turned around to look and was laughing. And when he turned back around, he realized what he thought was a water hazard was too close to him and he couldn't do anything. So he was just going to dive into it and make a big splash. Except it was a sand trap. And until you've seen a guy that is capable of running less than a 2-minute half mile, just full out Tarzan, arm spread, dive into a sand trap in the dark, you hadn't lived. When we pulled his face out of the sand, if you had a police sketch artist, you'd know exactly who that was. You'd be like, that's Jerry Fuquay. We're going to his house right now.
His face is stuck in the sand.
I mean, the eyebrows, eyelashes, it was an imprint. I mean, it was like the Seinfeld. Oh, they'd pick him up in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to download a bunch of clips from Seinfeld for Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us. And now the grieving of the
An airing of the grievances.
airing of the grievances.
And feats of strength, right?
That's it. Bring out the aluminum pole.
We should have done that. We should have planned ahead. Maybe we'll do that for Friday.
I saw a deal on Facebook, and it was a Costanzagram, and it was you can make a donation to the Human Fund.
You know, there's on Instagram, there's Costanzagrams.
Yeah.
You can get all those funny clips all day long. It's pretty cool.
Costanza.
I've watched that. I've binge watched Seinfeld now 4 times this year, I think. Season from the beginning to the end. I can't stop watching. Like every time I'm scrolling, I can't find anything fun to watch. I default to Seinfeld. Yeah. I'm just like, this works. No matter how many times I watch it, it's always still funny. It's crazy.
It is. You know what's coming, and it's still hilarious.
Yeah. You know the punchline and everything. It's still funny.
We were talking the other day, and we just said a random Seinfeld line, and then an hour and a half later, Seinfeld's on TV. And it's that episode.
It's that episode.
So we're all sitting down, and you wait for Elaine, and she looks at the girl, and in an Australian accent goes, "The dingo ate your baby."
The dingo ate your baby. Hey, where's that camera pointing at? Oh. I was just...
in the movie.
The lens probably gave that away, that it's pointing at you, but...
It was off. I was like, man, my shoulders must look good in this shirt. Nah, I know better.
Things the cross-eyed girl says.
Good grief. Can't take him anywhere. He's why we can't have nice things.
Can't have nice things.
Kevin Bull. It's his fault.
Kevin Bull?
It is.
Well, I'm trying to think of something else that we could segue into real easily off of that, but I couldn't come up with anything. So
Kevin's got tons of stuff. Go ahead.
Well, no, I know what I wanted to talk about. I just couldn't think of the segue that I want. Like, I couldn't do it smoothly.
You can't join. Yeah, okay.
I don't do segues.
What were you talking about?
No, so I played that
What's
that Brian Regan clip. Jim Gaffigan clip about the holiday stuff. I want to see what your guys' traditions are. Now, one tradition that we all enjoy in the band is Kevin's Texas Trash. So I'm not going to ask you to give the recipe out or anything.
No. So my dad made this every year, and he's been gone for 12 years now. So we make it, and it's just it's Chex Mix with spices and stuff, and I make it and give it out to my band members, and then they cry. Well, there's 2 of us because me and my wife. I'm not going to say who that is, Booch and Kevin.
Yeah. Likely story.
But so Josh texted me the other night, and I've given these guys the recipe. I'm okay with it. So Josh texted me the other night and was like, hey, do you mind if I give my mom your trash recipe? I'm like, no, go ahead. And then like a minute later, what is it? I'm like, why didn't you ask me for it? So can I give it to her? What is it?
What is it?
It's a bucket of dirt.
I've got like 4 pans at the house still. We still, because Lacey made some, and now she makes it every year. So it's like, your trash is making the rounds.
Bull
trash.
His trash is your treasure.
That's you go.
You spice it up a little bit though. Y'all like really spicy food.
Booch loves spice.
Yeah, we put a ton of cayenne in it, and then it's just it's got to like burn your mouth.
I mean, that's what Christmas smells like when you smell trash burning in the house. Well, yeah. It's like, hey, it's
if you're a homeless guy,
burning trash. We got some bull trash burning, so
we did that because we lived way out in the country, and so we had big pits like that. We would put we'd do our own silage and oats and all that for our cows, and so we had these really long, 20-foot deep pits, and they were probably 200 yards long. And we cut the silage, you put it in there, and it ferments, and then you feed it to the cows. Well, we had one extra one that we didn't use anything, so we used it for a dump. Okay. And so we would fill it up, and then once it got full, I probably shouldn't be probably gonna get busted.
Wait, is this one of your Christmas traditions?
By the EPA. Well, it was about this time of year.
Oh, okay. Well,
it would be full, and so up in flames that dump went, and that smell is. Yep, I'm probably going to get EPA'd on that one.
Oh, well.
Cousin Eddie, what's
your
statute?
Yeah. Can't even say the line. But...
You can.
No.
We want our grandkids to hear this show.
Well, you could say Crapper's full.
Crapper's full.
Merry Christmas.
Full. There you go.
Sort of.
You can say, it is internet radio.
Yeah.
So it's not the FCC won't, unless that's part of the new net neutrality deal.
Merry Christmas, shitter's full.
There you go.
There you go.
You're quoting somebody, I tell my kids that they're really upset and they're trying to tell me a story. I'm like, it's a quote. You can tell I want to know exactly what they said. So, so it's as long as you're quoting it, I think it's okay.
That, yeah. Or say it while you're using your fingers.
Yeah, those are the air RTs.
Yeah, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Never do that.
Air RTs.
That's what you're supposed to do.
The retweets.
So did the neighbors burn theirs at the same time as a big festival? Or?
Festivus.
We didn't have neighbors.
They were airing grievances.
They were airing grievances.
We would do something like that. The airing, not airing grievances, but it made me think of it. But we would do. I forget what it was. It was a religious thing that we did.
It's called church.
That's a cult, Josh. That's a cult.
People called it that. No, but where you would, there would be things that you would. It's kind of similar to like a Lent thing where you give something up for the year. But anyway, I don't remember. I was too young when we were doing it. But they'd do a big bonfire and you throw stuff in there that you were trying to get rid of in your life. So I had a great collection of wedding rings after that.
So yeah, trash is a tradition.
Oh yeah, sorry. Back to your traditions. Not about me.
So that's just and we give it away to friends and family, and I make some for some of my customers.
Mm-hmm. People you don't like, you sprinkle a little X-Lax,
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding.
Man. You did that to me, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
I'm not getting any from Booch though.
No, mine's good. Lacey makes it. So
his is good. What's mine? Trash?
Well, yeah, it's bull trash.
So is there any, you got a new addition to the family.
Yes, we do.
So how is that going to play into your normal Christmas schedule?
Mrs. Bull is a school district employee, so she gets out a couple of days before Christmas and then has the rest of the time off. So she runs around and gets everything done and lined up and ready to go. But because of the hurricane, we're not having Christmas at my mother-in-law's house, which we normally do. So it's at our house, and we're in a smaller rent house right now. So it's if you take 20 crazy people and jam them into a house that's designed for like 4 people, that's basically what my Christmas is going to be like.
Awesome.
It'll be a lot of fun. And everybody wants to stay. We're like, well, y'all can just drive up from Houston. And they're like, no, we're staying the night.
We'll pitch in on a hotel. Oh, no, we're staying.
We're going to roll that futon out, and everybody's staying. So it'll be...
So it's like the Griswolds.
Oh,
It's going to be the Griswolds.
It is the
Can
Griswolds.
I be Cousin Eddie? Can I come on over and stay for a month?
You don't even ask.
We're taking that with us when we leave next month.
There, it's an RV, and don't you fall in love with
RV.
it. She's leaving with me next month when we leave here. Yeah. So, yeah, it will be your Cousin Eddie without trying.
Well, I know. Somebody's got to.
It will be like that. And that house isn't big enough for me to go hide anywhere.
That's, yeah.
There's only 2 bathrooms, so I'm thinking about getting a porta potty out back. Gonna get a little hectic around there.
You've been in your house for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do y'all have any? Do y'all go? Well, okay. So recently, your folks have moved closer to you now.
Yes.
You used to have to go see them on Christmas.
Yeah, we do, and we would have anyway. I mean, when
Yeah.
they lived farther away, obviously we went up there at least some point, either like the weekend before, or sometimes the weekend after.
Right.
So it'll be the same this year,
Okay.
But my brothers and my sister, they have their own celebrations, and my brothers have their own kids and now grandkids, and so they do their thing on Christmas Day. So we do extended family stuff either the weekend before or weekend after, that kind of thing.
I've been trying to think of when I'm going to start having my own instead of going to everywhere. We're usually the family that drives, so we have 3 or 4 stops along the way. And, but this year, I guess I kind of got what I asked for, and more than I bargained for, because we're having a Christmas brunch where my mom and extended family from her husband's side are all coming up from Clear Lake to have brunch with us. And then we're having a family Christmas here again. Normally we get to go somewhere else and they'd have to do the cooking. So we're having to cook a big brunch for about 20 people and then have to go back and cook a big lunch/dinner, a dinner for about 30 people. Yeah. So we're going to be cooking and everything all day and cleaning all day, but we don't have to drive, so that's
the
good.
Traditional Christmas bologna sandwiches is a good choice, and you can make those ahead of time.
It's kind of weird to talk about the same thing twice on one podcast, I think, but you brought it up, and I'm going to see if I can't find it really fast because y'all won't believe what happened. This one lady in her story about bologna, more than 200 pounds of unclaimed bologna were seized at a border crossing. What do you think about that, Kevin?
You know what? I heard that story from somewhere on the news, and she was crossing the border, and there was, for some reason, they won't let you bring
meat, vegetables, any of that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to introduce new diseases.
I know, and we know what disease you get from bologna, so...
The Oscar Mayer disease?
I don't eat bologna.
That's one of them trick questions where he says it to see if you have it.
Yeah, right.
I eat pickle loaf because I'm sophisticated. And if you asked me the last time I had a pickle loaf sandwich, I would tell you.
Yesterday?
This morning.
This
morning for breakfast, boys.
Well, I like the bologna with the jalapeno in it. Mm-hmm. There I go again.
There you go with the spice.
Yeah, but if you're going to eat bologna.
My parents never forced me to eat bologna, so I just didn't eat it. I couldn't stand it. It looked gross.
Some people like it.
Okay.
We weren't forced. You could go to bed hungry if you wanted.
This lady will get you some. 200 pounds of it at a time.
No, she didn't get any.
I don't need
she
that
didn't get
much.
home with her bologna.
That's true.
Yeah, that's tough.
Somehow I automatically just started to tweet that.
Do you know what a bologna hole is?
Ooh, no.
Do you, Booch?
I'm not going to say even if I did, but...
But the way my mind works, you don't want me explaining it.
A bologna hole is if you have a neighbor that has a really aggravating dog. You dig a hole slightly larger than the dog. And you throw a piece of bologna in, and when he goes in to get it, you hit him in the head with a shovel and cover it up. So a bologna hole can be anything from a Chihuahua up to a German Shepherd. So they range in size.
We hope none of Kevin's neighbors are listening because they all know where their dogs went.
This section of the show brought to you by PETA.
Yeah. They all know what a bologna hole is. You would hear my cousin say that. You know what you need? You need a bologna hole.
Okay. So it could be for people too.
Yeah.
It could be for,
Yeah, if you get a guy to jump in a hole for a piece of bologna, I guess it could. But
where does bologna originate? What kind of food is it?
Well, it's either beef or other
But
meat products.
okay, but
So,
like pasta, Italian,
it falls into the
That's Italian.
most sausages.
Italian American.
Most sausages come from Europe,
Okay.
where they would use all the leftover cuts of meat to make
So they don't waste
something because
nothing.
you didn't
Yeah.
waste anything.
Right.
So it's either probably Italian or out of Germany. They're famous for all the different kinds of.
With the way it's spelled, I'll go with Germany. It's crazy. I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you spell it?
You can always Google
I
it.
can.
Can you spell
I
it
don't
without
wanna.
singing it?
Yeah, BOLOGNA. There.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Can you spell bananas without singing it?
I don't know when to stop. It's
Just
like
keep on going.
B-A-N-A-N-A-N-A-N-A.
That's how I am with Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about spelling. Kevin, spell Kirkendall. Go.
Kuykendahl. Thank you.
Boom.
Ah, sweet. Look at that. Look at that.
Don't drop the mic.
Yeah.
We need that.
Don't. Yeah. It's not gonna drop anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about Christmas. Booch is the last one to have a family in the room because he married Lacey and they had children. So
Oh, the last one to acquire
to
family.
acquire a family.
To
So
acquire.
I was like,
Is that how you do it?
dang,
Acquire
where'd
it?
my family go, Kevin?
So,
What'd you do with my family?
you went from being a single guy
Yeah.
to having a wife and
Right.
2 daughters.
Yeah, you got
What
one of them pre-built
What did your
families.
Christmases turn into at that point? Did you have to start decorating the house, put lights on the outside? Because
you
as
know-
a single guy, if you hung lights on the outside, I don't know.
Yeah, and so I didn't when I was single, but
Yeah.
just this year was like the first time we did, and that's because Lacey did it. So there you go. And if she hadn't have done it, then it probably wouldn't happen. But every year, and even when I was single, I didn't do a traditional Christmas tree in my house. Usually, every year when I was single, I did a drum tree.
Oh, yeah.
So you stack the drums up and you put lights around the drum kit, and it's a drum tree. So I did that.
Is that
And
is
that's
that a
I did-
symbol of a tree?
No, it's
That's
yeah,
symbol.
It's symbol. I see what you did there. CYMBL. Right. No,
You're going to
but,
ride that joke forever.
but I did that every year, and that's still something we do.
He
Till
caught
it
you in
crashes.
his snare.
Yeah, I still do that. The girls like
Do
it. Yeah, it's fun. It's good stuff.
Sweet. I made a tree out of rope. I was a roommate. My roommate was a roper, calf roper. And so we used the rope
Right.
instead of tinsel and garland or what, I don't know, popcorn. And then we put lights on it, and all the beer we drank, we just crushed the cans, poked
Yeah.
holes in them, and strung them together, and that's what we did instead
Yeah,
of a
you
little
just-
popcorn string.
Yeah. I've heard
The tree didn't smell very good, but it was
Right.
country. Daggum it. That's my buddy Billy Reynolds. Billy, if you're listening, I still remember that tree. Sorry, he likes the attention. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
got to
Okay,
make
yeah.
sure we say hi to
Shout
him.
out.
So
Shout outs.
So I had a sales call with this factory rep one time, and it was at Christmas. And we walk in, and the place has a tree decorated, and they got more tinsel on there than you can imagine.
Mhm.
And she asked the receptionist, she goes, "Can I have a piece of the tinsel?" She's like, "Yeah." "Will you tell me what for?" She goes, "Yeah." And she takes it, and you cut it 3 or 4 inches, and you put it on somebody's rearview mirror. You lick it and put it on there and squeeze it real hard, and it looks like their mirror is cracked. So she would do that at home to
No
her
way.
mom. Oh yeah,
That's hilarious.
piece of silver tinsel will make any mirror look like it's got a big giant crack. in it.
That's funny. I just did the normal stuff where you put the saran wrap over the toilet seat.
Yeah, see, I did that to my wife, and she thought that I thought of that myself. I was like, no, that's old.
That's old.
That's an old.
Did she
That
never-
goes way
Did
back.
she never go to camp?
goes
What
way
the hell,
back.
man? That's like, I can't take credit for that one. I was working at when I was doing wheel repair, and in the shop, the technicians, all the new guys, the new porters or whatever,
Right.
when the porter would go to back it out of the bay, they take a bunch of bubble wrap, whether it be the big one or the big packets like Amazon
yeah,
sends.
the big
They
bubbles.
didn't have those back a few years ago. Those are pretty new.
No, those big packs, yeah.
But at least the big bubbles,
Yeah.
and they'd put that bubble wrap behind the back tire before he knew it. So he starts backing out of this garage, bang, and he's like, ah! It's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
But you got any pranks, Kevin?
Oh, we saw a guy that
Oh, wait, you're the one that gave us the prank.
took a smoke bomb and put it up under his buddy's engine block.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the kind that you pull the ring to make it start.
Oh, wow.
And so then they tied a piece of fishing line to the fence. So this guy gets in his car, starts the engine,
Everything's fine.
puts it in reverse, starts backing up, turns his head. I turn my head so you can see it. And because it's
Right back,
so you can see how that
liner
works.
notes. Kevin
Yeah.
turns his head.
it's like Doppler. He turned his head. And obviously he moves 2 feet, and then there's just a pile of smoke pouring out under his hood. So he puts it in park, and he's out there looking, and they're sitting inside the shop just laughing. Can't find out what's wrong with his car.
Mm-mm-mm. My dad was the king of pranks, but the problem is most of his pranks, I don't think the statute of limitations is running out.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But he has
It would involve an M80, 2 cows, a cactus,
close.
a pair of jumper cables,
How
and
many,
a gallon of
sticks
snow
of,
peas.
how many sticks of dynamite does an M80 equal?
Oh, wow.
No, he had some good ones. They're funny stories. We'll have to get you. I'll tell him sometime, or I have to at least get him to write me a permission slip. That's okay. To
Yeah,
use them on
permission
air.
slip.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to see him get arrested. He's enjoying fishing too
The
much.
judge to sign a waiver or something.
Is there a fishing team in prison?
We'll be up at Crockett playing on the playground trying to go to the bail bonds.
We'll be up to make a trip up to Crockett.
I'll meet you at Dairy Queen.
Yeah,
Give me a finger buster. Good grief. Did y'all hear Chris Stapleton was the #1 played artist on all jukeboxes across the nation, all genres?
I had not heard
#1
that.
played on all
I had not
jukeboxes.
heard that.
That's a pretty cool stat. Because, like radio and all that stuff, it's like, okay, whatever. It's whatever people want to say that it is. But all the jukeboxes don't lie. That's what the people want.
Well, in these days, you can pretty much pick whatever you want. They're not like the old school where it's like you go in and they got,
Records.
4 or 5
Right.
actual records, and one of them's Perry Como. But,
Yep.
it's,
Now
can
the
pick-
labels
you
are
can
faded.
Pick and choose, yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Is that 68 or 88?
Right.
Push both.
Yeah. So,
I'm the 88 guy. I'm hoping to get picked accidentally.
yeah. Yeah.
But that's pretty sweet though. Like everywhere you go, like
It's pretty cool. It's interesting.
it is interesting. So I don't know. I wonder what that equals with money.
You probably made 30 cents off of it, at least.
Well, I wonder. I wonder if digital jukeboxes these days pay what the same standard streaming fee would be. Like if you get 100 plays on a jukebox, you make a nickel. You know?
I don't know. I don't know if that's
You don't know?
the same. Yeah, it's probably.
You don't even make the nickel.
No, because it goes by the amount of people that hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
So who counts the people in the bars, Randy?
It goes by your maximum occupancy.
On jukebox sales. But do you think jukebox companies, Brandy, everybody, do you think jukebox companies have figured out that they could pay less if they say that they're using iTunes streaming as opposed to the standard way?
Yeah, BMI will get them.
Yeah.
BMI sets the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ASCAP. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Yeah. No, I know they got weird things, and I don't want to get blacklisted from the industry yet. I have some opinions on a lot of that stuff, but I do know, like, a lot of those big royalty companies, they go into these places and they don't specifically ask. Now, in a jukebox to be different, there's a digital record of who's being played, but when they go into places like the Redneck Country Club and they say, okay, how many nights are you open? How many nights do you have live music? Or how many hours are you playing live music? How many hours are you playing recorded music? What's your occupancy? Blah, blah, blah. They ask all these questions and they come up with this number that they charge them for their licensing fee, right? And then that all goes into a big pot. But they don't say how many times did Josh Fuller play here? How many times did Captain Legendary play here? How many originals did they do? And so then it all goes into a pot. And so then the people, the powers that be in these PRO companies get to say who gets that money. And based on, I guess, who's popular and what it is. But so by the time it gets to me, if I don't log into my ASCAP account and say, hey, I played this venue on this day and played this many originals, I want to get paid, then most of the time they won't even know I'm here. And that's the only way to do it. And what's funny is I got into a heated argument with a venue owner one time because he told me I was double dipping by doing that. It's like, you already got paid to play at my venue. So why then should you go and report what you played for your originals so that you get paid for your music? And mine was just like, well, because it's my songs and you're paying it anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, and nobody's going to tell them that I played my song at your venue. So how are they going to know? How do I get my money?
Yeah.
Couple things. I thought double dipping meant you had Skull and Copenhagen.
In this part of the country,
and
probably
all the
does.
money goes into a pot. Pot's illegal in Texas. You have to go to Colorado to get your money. So I don't know what you're complaining about.
Well, unless it's medical, they've opened up some medical.
Are we a
uses
medical
now.
band? Is that what we are now?
We are now. Yeah,
Yeah.
we all have our medical alert bracelets now, and the little buttons on our necks in case we fall down.
So is that where Band-Aid comes from?
Band-Aid? No, that comes from what's that? What's that name of that movie with the Almost Famous? That's what that movie's from. Band-Aids.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. With what's her name?
I don't.
Goldie Hawn's daughter. What's her name? I can't even remember her name. Hutchins. Kate Hudson.
There you go.
That's her name.
Easy for you to say.
Well, because there's that girl. Y'all know her probably from Conroe, Heather, and she looks like Kate Hudson. She used to come to some of the shows and everything. And so every time I think of Kate Hudson, I want to call her Heather because Heather looked just like her. Y'all remember her?
No.
Looked just like Kate Hudson.
To you, yeah, obviously.
I mean, yeah.
In your mind.
I don't remember, but
Obviously.
yeah.
I didn't say anything incriminating there. Anything incriminating. There.
Right.
Got to do
Sure.
my warm up somewhere.
Right. Yeah. You got till tomorrow for that, so you're good.
Yeah.
Or wait. Yeah. Yeah, you start a day early, you'll be primed for Friday.
Oh yeah, Friday I'll be.
But you're
Nice
playing
and
tonight
warm.
though, so
Am I? No.
no, is it
Tomorrow
tomorrow
night.
night?
Tomorrow night,
That's
yeah.
what I meant, tomorrow night.
Open mic night. Well, I think we're gonna transition that into a songwriter night on.
Well,
for
that
next
rules me
year.
out.
Yeah, you're out.
Oh, that's fine.
Unless you can just you can do hip hop, play the
No.
cajon.
No, I can't.
I like Adidas, my favorite kind of sneakers.
You
Yeah.
can freestyle.
You can freestyle.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I just beatbox. I know I don't even do that, so I'm not. Gonna, don't ask.
You got the
Well-
filter. Go ahead.
Cajon is
It's the
beat
mic's a little too.
boxing.
No, it is You're
You're beating a box
Yeah, I've done
on a
that.
cajon.
Done that. Plenty. Beatbox kind of thing. That's fun.
So I don't know if y'all know, Booch has the best drum tech in the world. He married her and trained her. his
Yeah,
way.
I married her because she's that good at drum tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had no idea.
What came first, the drum tech or her as a wife?
The world may never know. It's like chicken and egg thing.
Mm-hmm. Which one of y'all is the chicken?
Did she show up?
I opened the door on that one. Didn't I?
Did she show up with drum tech skills, or did you teach her that?
It was just it just came naturally. She just knew it. She just I don't know.
She's
one
like,
of
that
those-
little thingy goes on that little bopper, and there you go. Thingy
Yeah,
bopper.
she just knew. We started setting stuff up, and she'd watched me play a couple times, obviously before she offered to help out. But as soon as she offered to help out, it was like,
Yeah.
And I was like, so
He went down to
and then-
adjust his kick drum pedal and put a ring on her finger.
Right, and I was like, maybe we should take our relationship to the next level.
Would you like to be a drum tech?
She's like, roadie? I can be your roadie?
Right.
No, I want you to be
No.
my wife.
Right.
And my roadie.
But she's good at it. She is.
She is good. She helps. She's busts her butt up there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And every now and then, Kevin's sons would come up to shows and help him out. What happened to that? They just got bored.
Well, I can't make enough money to pay for alcohol for the oldest one.
That's
If he shows up, my beer tab is gone and my paycheck is gone. It's like I can roll up cords my damn self.
Cigars are gone.
Yes, cigars cost me a nice cigar, all my beer money and my gig money.
And the last couple of times you were being his wingman trying to set him up with people. And what happened there?
He doesn't like my choices.
He didn't like. There was one show. I don't know if you hung out after that show or not. It was the same show at Cole's. And then,
My buddy Sam said.
and that girl, his buddy Sam set him up with a girl. That girl just hung out with us. Like at the end of the night, we're sitting there trying to set up, and she just kind of walks up. She's like, "Hey," and Kevin's like, so how's it going?" She's like, "It's fine." "Where's Josh?" "Oh, he's inside." And so we're stuck with this girl. We're like, what are we supposed to do here? We're waiting on Josh. Hurry up, Josh! And then Josh got there and just practically ignored her.
She rode home with her parents. That's always a sign right
That's a
there.
sign right there.
My mom and dad are waiting in the parking lot.
Oh, man.
It's like that. I saw that picture today, that cartoon where it said, nobody can sit on Santa's lap without an attorney present. That's the day and age we live in, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Crazy.
Crazy. All right, well, let's, I guess, take us another break here, fellas, so we can let our ears cool off. These earphones are hot. You were right about that.
That's I get the inners.
Yeah.
Why not?
Let's play a little music from our friends Captain Legendary Band. Huh?
Oh, yeah, I like those guys.
Bye.
There we go.
Nowhere was Baton Rouge about 5 days ago. I'm on a train bound for nowhere was Baton Rouge about 5 days ago. Oh well, I guess I missed a stop. It don't matter, I ain't got no way to go. Oh, last time it was Houston, and the girl on the way that was so fine. Houston, the girl on the way that was so fine. Oh, but she left me down in Beaumont and left me to roll that rail line. Baby, I'm gone. Yeah, these back roads is where I call my home. I can't tell you why, but I'm always alone. But I gotta see some won't you come to our show? She says, hey, case of them cutting shit ribs. Whoa, cut
If you've had an accident or just a fender bender, the last thing you need to do is tangle with the big city. When Classic Auto Group Collision Center can take care of all your repairs, island style. Our certified technicians can repair any make or model, and we back up every repair with a lifetime warranty. Classic Auto Group Collision Center, now open at 6601 Harborside Drive. ClassicGalveston.com.
Classic Galveston, enjoy the difference. Island style.
Island style. Island style is a good style.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And we're back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. In studio with me is Kevin Bull and Booch.
You can say my real name if you want.
I know, it's like, I hate that
It's
one
okay.
syllable.
It's a nickname, and it's okay if you call me by my nickname or if you call me Kevin Bull. That's fine too.
Beauregard.
No, it's not Beauregard.
Bodacious
Yeah.
Boyd.
Bodacious boy.
There's a lot of people that don't even know my real name.
Right.
So,
I'm going with Bocephus.
Bo Cephas Boyd is in the studio right
it's
now.
not it either. But yeah.
It's not it either?
No.
No,
It's just Bo.
Oh, it's just Bo.
Just Bo.
Bodega.
Like
Bo.
Jackson.
But not
I see the
near as,
symbol- no,
not
y'all-
near as talented. Although
Spitting image.
there was a day I could have done that wall jump thing where you
Yeah.
dropped the ball, man.
You
With a
do that.
trampoline.
With shark
I
cleats.
could have made state. I'm telling you.
You could have.
Coach would have put me in.
State of New Jersey.
Uncle Rico.
So I thought for the last half hour of the show we could talk about some of our fun memories from being
Sure.
being
Whatever.
on the road. Because usually when we're on our road trips is when I always had the idea that, man, we should really be podcasting this because this is hilarious. Because usually we're tired, we're delirious,
Some weird things happen on those road trips. I got
maybe
a few stories.
hungover. Yep. So you and I have had some really deep
I got a
conversations.
good one about a goldfish.
A goldfish? Ah, well, let's hear the story about the goldfish. See, I
Well,
forget
I mean, we
some
don't
of
have to
these.
get right to it. But
You want? Oh, you want to go to a different
No,
one
it
first?
doesn't matter.
I mean, we can warm them up.
it's your show.
It's not every day that you hear a setup to. I got a story about a goldfish.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't. Yeah.
That's
You
like
hope-
Richard Gere saying, "I got a story about a gerbil."
I hope it's not that kind of story.
Oh, we went to the dark internet really quick.
That's where it's supposed to be. That's where you live.
Right. Well, anyway, so we were on a very long trip to Oklahoma. And, well, one of the reasons it was long is because we drove up there that day.
Because we live far away. That's why it was long.
Well, yeah, that's the geographical reason. But we drove up there that day, and then we played the gig, and we decided to come home that night, if you'll remember. So we drove.
Were we coming all the way home, or were you enticed to stop at the border and go gambling?
Well,
we were trying to
we
do
were
that,
we were
weren't
going to So the goal was to actually stop at the border and go gambling. But by the time we actually got to the border, there was like, I don't know, we probably had the energy of like half a person between all of us. So we decided just to truck it on home. Right?
Who was driving at that point?
I think Josh was driving. Wasn't he?
I
No,
was.
Kevin was driving. Yeah, because
and-
Josh was. Yeah,
And I didn't drink that night, which is not unusual for me to not drink.
that's right.
And the place we were supposed to stay ended up having like 20 extra people there, so they told
Correct.
us we could crash in their Lazy Boys.
Oh yeah.
And I'm way too old
Right.
to crash on Lazy Boy, so I came up with the idea.
Hey, I'll
Hey
drive
guys, I'll drive and we'll stop at the border and go gambling. And you little children all fell right in line where I wanted you
right,
to,
Right.
and then fell asleep in the van. And I was hauling
right.
ass like there was no tomorrow.
So
My idea
you
was
had
to
a
get
plan.
home.
You had a plan, right?
He
So
waited for
Booch
y'all to
wakes
fall
up.
asleep, and then he punched it.
So no, I was keeping you up. Remember, I
Yeah,
was
you
in the
were.
driver's seat,
Yeah, you
making
were.
sure you were,
Yep.
because I wasn't drinking either. I don't think
You were in the
Oh, yeah,
co-pilot
no, that was
seat.
that was when you were still on the wagon back then.
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're sitting there just talking all the way to the border, and we get to the border, and there's the casinos, and I think at some point Kevin looks up, shh, don't say anything
No,
about the
I
casinos.
tried to wake him up.
You did not. Yeah.
And they all went, "Ugh."
Yeah. Yeah, and then, it was not happening. So we just cruised on. But by the time we hit maybe Corsicana, or was it even that far?
It wasn't that far.
Okay, so we hadn't even hit Dallas yet. We stopped and because we all had to use the restroom at this point. So
We were in Buffalo.
Oh, was it Buffalo?
Yeah.
So we hadn't made it past Corsicana then.
Or there's
There
it
you
was Centerville. It was Centerville, where it's got that little truck stop type gas
Okay.
station, but
Well,
not
at some
Either
point
way.
in Texas, we stopped at a gas station, and we all went to use the restroom, and I walk in, and Kevin walks in, and Josh is right behind us. And they go to the urinals, and there's only a stall left. So I just go to the stall, and it's all quiet. Everybody's, ready to do their business. And I look down, and there's a goldfish in the toilet, except that it's not a dead goldfish. It's swimming around in a bowl. So I'm thinking, hey guys, which is not something you want to ever even say in a men's restroom. You don't want to go, hey guys, in a men's restroom. But I'm like,
Am I
"Hey, guys,
hallucinating?
I don't know what's happening. I'm really tired, and I don't even know if I should pee right now. They're like, what are you talking about? I was like, dude, there's a goldfish in here. And they were like, just flush it. And I'm like, no, it's still alive. And so I got a picture somewhere. I actually had to take a picture. I couldn't believe it.
there's
I don't
a picture of it.
know how in
Facebook will remind you shortly.
in Centerville, Texas, a goldfish got.
I don't know either.
I'm sure.
I'm sure
put
that
it
thing
there.
was swimming around at you like, oh God, where's he gonna
Well,
aim that
and
thing?
I was like, talk about not being able to pee at that point, even though you had to go.
He had
It's like,
stage fright.
I'm not going to run his day.
Yeah.
Shit, come on.
He was watching you.
Yeah,
was
I know.
watching
He's
you.
like, I can't go. You're watching me, dude. So, but that was, that
He's
was
like,
kinda-
man, I came to this place to get away from these fishermen.
and it would have to happen too. I mean, this could happen anytime during the day or like when we're going up there.
Well, and
Yeah,
but
some
it's,
of those
it's
mornings.
4 in the, it's
some
4
of
in
those
the
gas
morning.
stations, it could have been there a week. You
Yeah.
never know.
It's 4 in the morning. I could barely see when I was walking in, and to see that, I'm thinking, all right, I'm fine. I've lost it. I'm done. It's
I'm not
over.
hallucinating at all.
It's over. It's official. I'm off
All
the
right.
rocker.
All right, so we got to
Yeah.
tell this story because it's a funny story and it's an inside joke.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm gonna lose my composure here.
I know it's coming. I already know it's just by the way you're laughing. I know exactly what's
you
about
want me
to
to
happen.
tell this story?
I know exactly what's about to happen.
Sure, you tell it. You tell it.
So we had gone to, and I forget the name of the place we used to play in Palestine. What was the name of that place? And we'd seen the Dairy Queen and the Bell Bond and the
Oh, come on. What
the
was-
playground on the way up, and we go to
That's a good
Palestine,
question.
and we played, and then we hung out at Wendy's or
It's a great
Whataburger
moment.
afterward, a little bit afterward.
I don't remember what it's called.
Went to the hotel, and Josh and Joel and I shared a room, and
That's a story in itself. right there.
so that means I had free reign of the bathroom because Joel wasn't going to use the shower.
Right under the bus. Right under the bus. Here you are,
So-
Joel.
So we go downstairs
love you,
and
Joel.
we're eating breakfast. It's free breakfast at the hotel we stayed at. So we're eating there, and without mentioning any names, one of the members of the band came up and was amazed that her significant other that she had brought with her on the trip had made her a waffle in the shape of the state of Texas.
She was excited, you guys. Like
It was a miracle.
It was Rembrandt. This guy had free-handed, and it was perfect. It was a perfect state. I said, if there's a chocolate chip everywhere, there's a state park, I'd be impressed. But it's a Texas-shaped waffle iron, honey.
She happened. Finally, we just kind of like pointed at the waffle iron. She goes, "Oh,
yeah." So that's always been our tagline: is we're going to come up with a band or a song and call it Texas-shaped waffles.
Yeah.
That was just the epitome of how
Texas
great
miracle.
It was true love. Yeah. He had poured her a Texas-shaped waffle.
It was a miracle.
Yeah, it was
right there.
The Texas-shaped waffle miracle.
Okay, how about this one?
You can get them at Buc-ee's.
Early on, Josh was using a wireless systems. Remember that? He had wireless on his guitar, and he kept wanting me to play wireless, and I just wouldn't do it because I'm cheap, and I play a Stratocaster. It picks up enough noise as it is. The last thing you want to do is
you were picking up Mexican radio.
I picked up Mexican radio.
You got to talk about that too.
No, that was coming from his amp.
That was my amp.
Yeah, but
somehow
still,
his amp. Was
so.
That was that Minute Maid Park.
Minute Maid Park.
Yeah.
So
12:30. Yeah.
He was coming right through his guitar amp, man.
There was nothing you could do. So he's on this kick about you need to get a wireless system, and then you could just walk around everywhere,
swing from the rafters.
And we were supposed to play at, I think it was the Firehouse, and they were doing some renovating, and the guy owned another bar on the other side of 59 on Shepherd.
Yes.
And so we regrouped. We regrouped and played there. And there was not a stage, but they had a booth that the table was missing and had laid plywood across where the two seats were. And the bass player set up in there. I was about 14 inches away from my amp, and I turned to him and was like, "Hey, I could use a wireless about now." we were just jammed up.
Was that Kay's Lounge?
Kay's Lounge, yeah.
Was I there, or was that?
I think you were there because somebody was there. We had a drummer because we had the booths.
Oh, it was me.
They took the table out of the booth and had a piece of plywood set between
I remember
the
it exactly because the thing was so shaky. It's like halfway through the first song, I'm like, this is where I'm gonna die. Because
this is where drummers go to die.
This is where it all ends because the bass drum's starting to slide a little bit, and I got the cymbals look like palm trees. You know, they're like in a hurricane because they're just bouncing back and forth, and I'm like, either I'm gonna get my head chopped off by a cymbal, or I'm just gonna flip over. And it was
my
it was.
The heels of my shoes were touching the front of my amp. That's how far away I was. It was like there was a pedal board in front of me, and then my feet, and then the amp, and there's just this 10-foot of cord rolled up on the floor because all I needed was 9 inches.
We could have probably had more room in a phone booth.
Didn't we share that day with? I think it was Gary Kyle. Or
with somebody. Yeah, we shared it with another band.
We had to do another band too.
There was 2 bands there.
2 bands where there was more room for our gear, but we had to keep all our stuff over by the pool tables. That was a small venue. Wow, that was a small venue.
It was pretty amazing.
That party that we played last week, the dude's upstairs bar was bigger than Kay's Lounge was. Wow. I remember Joel and I had to do. I think it was Joel. It may have been you, where we went and did a private party for some people, and they put pieces of plywood over their hot tub. And we sat on their hot tub to play our show.
Well, I didn't do that one. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was fun. We had a good time. But, yeah, they had 3/4-inch plywood, and they laid it across the hot tub of their pool. And so it was, in a way, it was kind of neat because you were the band hovering over the pool. But on the other hand, we got electronics, and we're hovering over water.
Right. So, which is smart.
Yeah, it's always a good idea.
The Mexican radio story is funny, but it was a neat gig. Really?
Oh, super neat.
And except for, the weather was a little cold. It was probably, in the 40s or 50s? No, it was maybe the 50s or
50s, yeah.
So it wasn't terrible, but we were up on top of Union Station.
Yeah.
Minute Maid Park, downtown Houston. And the way to get up there was interesting. Remember that?
Yeah.
We had to haul the gear into an elevator, which for, everybody else is normal. But if you got a cart full of drums... Yeah. It's a little crazy. But so we had to go up one elevator, and then you had to go out and then up another one, right? Or upstairs or something.
Yeah.
And so there were like an elevator, and then you had to get off, get on another one. But anyway, we ended up on top of the roof. And it was a little chilly, but we were all setting up. And we get everything plugged in, and lo and behold, there's some Tejana music coming out of Kevin's amp. And I'm thinking, I can't remember the last time he played Tejano.
First time we couldn't even tell where it was coming from.
But I mean, this had accordion and everything. And then
Yeah.
I look over at Kevin. I'm thinking, man, one man Tejano.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's
Kevin's rocking
amazing.
it.
I just kept waiting for somebody to come up and go, do y'all play any Mavericks?
But was that your Fender or was
No.
that Hughes and Kettner?
No, it's my Mesa Boogie.
Or is it Mesa Boogie? That ain't-
So it's a high-end
Yeah,
hand-wired
it's a-
tube amp.
Yeah, it's a
But
great amp.
at that point in town, it's
Just too close to the tower.
You know,
Man.
Yeah.
I read
Literally.
And
Right there.
I read a story
30 is.
of
you needed
Stevie
a foil
Ray
hat for your amp.
of where Stevie Ray was playing a gig somewhere early in his career, and the same thing happened to him. And they said,
so you thought you were Stevie Ray.
I thought I was Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
And I fell over dead. And he sent somebody to the grocery store, and they bought like 10 rolls of aluminum foil,
Yeah.
and they just wrapped the
wrapped it.
head to insulate it.
Did it work?
Man.
You know,
They
the
never
story,
said?
the story doesn't
that's-
say if it works or not,
Yeah.
but
That's how my dad keeps the voices out of his head.
That's how I keep the aliens away. So
I mean, you know, there's nothing you can do when you forget your bass pedal or there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
cymbal
That
missing
never
or
happens.
your amp is picking up.
Booch never forgets his
yeah.
throne,
There's-
his snare.
Oh my god.
throne, snare, what else? Hi-hat cymbals probably. But the good story was when we were up at, was it Palestine or was it,
They didn't have a
Paris.
bass pedal.
It was Palestine where they didn't have, and
Palestine.
JP
it
took
was
care of you.
JP took care of me.
JP.
So we go
I
up
can't
there.
remember the name of the bar, but I remember JP.
Remember JP
So
had a bass
it's
pedal.
downtown Palestine now. It used to be out on the outskirts or
Yeah.
on some loop. But anyway, downtown Palestine is where they have the club now. So we roll up. I'm setting up. There's a music store right next door that's closed because the music store is like way past 5 o'clock.
So we used some dynamite, blew
No.
a wall open, stole all the gear we needed.
That was plan A. But luckily, we got pulled away from plan A and went to a plan B, which was that this awesome sound guy, and he was a great sound guy, JP.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he dialed everything in. So I'm walking around and I'm like about to be in a frazzle here because I have no bass drum pedal.
Outlaw Country.
And you
Yeah.
Yeah, outlaw country. So you can do a lot of things with the bass drum, you know, and you can kick it yourself, but it's just not going to sound right. You know, it's just not going to sound right. So you need a bass drum pedal. I didn't bring one to the gig because
That's so rare.
I didn't go down on my checklist.
No, you've never forgot
I never
anything.
forget stuff ever. I know there's got to be other drummers that do this. Well, probably not. They're
Probably
real
not.
drummers,
No, if you
right?
do something out of the norm, that's when I forget stuff. If all of a sudden, like this mixing board,
Yeah.
if I take this mixing board to an actual gig and I come back, I'm not gonna be able. It's not gonna be fluid anymore.
Well, I think it was a different setup I was doing or something. I don't know. But anyway, lo and behold, you know, I'm running around trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And JP's like just kind of nonchalantly hooking up cables. Oh, I got a bass drum pedal. And he said it so fast. You know how JP talks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you really.
With his mouth.
That's my trick here, JP. Say that again. He's like, no, I got a bass drum pedal. I was like, okay. So I'm expecting him to come out with this old like Pearl that's been beat up, and you know maybe somebody left at the show. He walks up with this big case, and it's like he popped it open, and you could hear angels singing. Yeah, like that, and it was just the
Should've done
top
that
of the
together.
line Tama Iron Cobra double pedal, and I was just like, what? Did somebody leave it? No, it was JP's. Turns out JP plays drums.
And the next night, JP said, "Where the hell
Never
my pedal?"
said. Yeah, right. Yeah. No, but I mean, turns out he never said it. The 3 or 4 times we were up there, he never mentioned once to me, or not that I knew of.
That he was a drummer.
Or maybe he mentioned to me. Maybe I was just, who knows where I was.
Wonder what he'd trade for Texas shaped waffles.
I don't know.
But
So one of my favorite stories about a rare occurrence where you would leave something behind
rare.
was
Snare drum.
what I think it was what led up to it. So actually, I can't remember. Maybe not. So we played that Guadalapalooza when we played with Stoney LaRue behind the Harley Davidson
Oh,
shop.
yeah.
And I thought you had to go get something, but maybe.
Oh, I probably left something.
But yeah, you had to go buy a new throne.
Yeah.
You left your throne at
Yeah.
home.
You know what it is? I'd actually played, I think that might have been around the same time.
You did the same thing you were doing Rot.
Rot Rally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played that with Stacy Butler and Corey Moss,
Mm-hmm.
who
Is in the band.
Corey is still with us today.
He is still with
Not
us.
here, but
In spirit.
he's probably breaking
alive.
rocks. He's probably breaking
Will he
rocks
be there
somewhere.
Friday?
He's a
He will be
geologist.
there Friday, to
So
my
he-
knowledge.
So anyway, played the Rot Rally, and I forgot. I left my throne, and because we had to load in, load out, and we were literally playing it was basically a barn, for lack of
Yeah.
We were just kind of, but so there were several bands, load in, load out. It was real fast. Left my throne there, and then that's the gig where I had to go get a throne.
Yep, and so he brings this throne.
And throne, for those people who don't play drums, that's what we call
That's where a king sits.
That's a chair.
Oh.
It's a chair.
It's a toilet. He sits on the toilet while he plays drums.
Lacey made fun of me, too, because I called it a throne. She's just a chair.
It's like, well, narcissist
That's
much?
what they call it. I know. She thought I was, but I was like, no, that's what they call it.
Mr. Throne.
She didn't believe me.
Okay, Mr. Throne, man.
Yeah. It's a throne, I swear.
You're in the thrones of passion. But after that show, so we're doing that show, and you had to go buy a throne, and you came.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, so we opened that show, and Stone LaRue was the headliner, but there was so many acts. We do it every year. It's called Guadalapalooza, and they raise money for children's mental health.
It's a cool gig.
It's a cool gig, and that one was probably one of the biggest ones.
They
some
did the
years
burnout
some years
there.
are great, some years are not as great as they were, but this one happened to be just amazing. They had Stoney coming to headline it. They had a big old trailer in the back.
Yeah.
It was behind the Harley Davidson dealership.
They did the burnout.
They did. Well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Sorry.
So we play our show and we're done. But for some reason you didn't load out your throne. I guess you just wanted to have somewhere to sit.
Probably.
So you still had your throne. And so we eventually
like,
were migrating our way to the middle so that we have a good spot to see Stoney.
Right.
And it was us, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And Haley K, who is a brand new mommy.
That's where we met
for her
Haley
second
K,
baby. Yeah, it's her second baby.
If I wanted a good seat at a show, I'd have Haley K put me on her shoulders.
Yeah, she's pretty tall, but she just had her second baby, so that's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
But anyway, so we're there, and so we finally get to kind of our spot. And I remember we're sitting around their throne in the kind of the middle, near the front,
right?
And the hype man comes out. And first they had the Harley Davidson come out, the drag racing Harley Davidson, do a burnout.
That's right.
I mean, it was a very good burnout. I mean, it smoked the whole place up. Yeah. And then the hype man comes out, and he's just he had a bunch of Red Bulls. Maybe he did a shot of Coke. I don't know, but he was hype for a hype man. He was hype. And he was getting the crowd really into it. And they're like, who's ready to see some Stoney LaRue? And the whole place is like, rah! I mean, there was a couple thousand people there. Yeah. And they're just going nuts. And then it got to this, like, really quiet, unexpected quiet moment. And Haley, all 10 feet of her, stands on top of Booch's throne with a beer. And as soon, like, they were like, who's ready to see Stoney? And they all cheered. And then they all shut up. And then she went, I love Jesus!
Oh my God, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. That was so hilarious.
Just at the top of her lungs. Like, right on, sister.
I totally forgot she did that.
I love Jesus.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Good times.
It was good times. Man.
We opened up for Stoney at the venue here in the Woodlands.
Do-si-do.
The Do-si-do. And it's just Josh and I acoustic. So we go over there, and they've redone it. It's super nice. Mm-hmm. They're treating us really good. We sound check it. Man, it just sounds so good in there. We're like, hey, let's see Stoney coming here, just acoustic. And his roadie sound checks for him. And his roadie's a better guitar player than I am. I hate that guy. And he's singing like a choir.
His merch dude.
His merch dude sings like a choir of angels, and it's the merch guy playing guitar and singing. Stoney doesn't even come and sound check. This guy does it for him. And it was amazing.
It was.
It's like, oh my God, that's your merch guy?
Yeah.
I couldn't even be Stoney's merch guy.
Well, and Stoney, that's another thing. He's a way better guitar player than you just assume. You know?
Oh, he's a fantastic
just
guitar player.
Getting him by himself, he's just like, damn, dude. Here I thought I could cover Stoney. You can't cover him right, but if you can't play the guitar the same way.
I know.
Corey's the same way. Corey Morrow's a hell of a guitar player, but when you got John Carroll by you, nobody really looks at you as a guitar player, but Corey can play too.
He's really a good player.
Yeah. John Carroll's a beast, though.
You know he's on.
Go ahead, Kevin. John's your boy. Like
John's at the top of the list, man. If you get a chance to go see Corey Morrow, he puts on a great show. But his guitar player, John Carroll, is phenomenal. And they're one of the last acts you see running around still playing just 4-piece. They don't do no keyboards. There's no fiddle. There's no steel. It's just
and they had their day when they did all that.
Yeah, they did. But now they're down to the 4-piece and good harmony vocals, some great songs, and then John is just an incredible guitar player. He's just ridiculous.
Well, he's ridiculous. And then no matter how many times you see Corey in a year, you're going to see something new at his show.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if, well, they act like they knew it was going to happen, but some of that stuff, like when they were, I forget what part of which song it was or what part, when all of a sudden he starts busting into that, wow, 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 you know, he was talking about making love, still get naked when I can or something, and you're just like, bust into that, and you're just like, what?
Yeah,
that's sick.
Last time we saw him, that he busted into Linus and Lucy, which is the Peanuts theme song, and he and the bass player, and they're like, yeah, that's pretty normal for a guitar player.
Yeah, a guitar player to play a piano part.
Rip off that piano song and just crush it like that. But he's got killer tone.
He does. Oh, he's got great tone.
He's got a great tone.
I always enjoy looking around the audience to see how many people catch stuff like that. Because as a musician, we catch it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star you'll do and stuff like that. As musicians, we catch it quick. But you always wonder if like the average audience member really catches on and catches those Easter eggs,
Yeah.
And so whenever he started doing that Linus and Lucy bit, I started looking around and almost everybody was like they're just like air piano and
exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Exactly.
That's cool.
It's like so neat.
Yeah.
But those guys are man,
great entertainers.
It's cool to see their longevity after all these years. I mean, that's the group of people that got me into Texas country was Corey and Pat, and then that turned into the Robert Earl Keens and all those guys too. But it's just the fact that they're just still out there killing it, man.
Yeah,
killing it.
It's awesome.
They put on good shows and still draw pretty good crowds. Well, especially at like Redneck Country Club, but almost everybody that comes there draws a pretty good crowd.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sweet how many shows we've done with Corey, and I still feel like I need to go up to him and say, "Hey, man, Josh Fuller, remember me?"
I know, right? I know.
Right.
It's weird. Hey, did you bring your guitar? And they're like, "Yeah, you want to borrow it?" Because I don't want to sit around and play because you make me look like a really, really bad beginner.
And you've been in a few more house parties than I have. There's been some house parties where I've gotten to play with some pretty cool people, and you have too. And it's always like, "Oh, it's your turn." Oh yeah. How about I just sing harmony to one we all know?
Let's skip me. I'm passing this time.
I'm thinking
pass.
But that's talking about the other day with a friend of mine. That's the house party deal is just phenomenal to watch these guys. No PA, no microphone, no effects, just acoustic guitars and guys singing, and they're throwing down. They're trying to outdo each other. It's a macho thing. I'm a performer for a living, and this is what I do. And they really, it's so much better than the full band show. I love the full band show because I love the screaming guitar. But the acoustic shows those guys do, it is really amazing how great musicians they are.
At that level, you can't even at that setting, at that level, you can't afford to have a bad show.
No,
so you got to do it.
Right.
You got to bring it every time.
I saw a tweet the other day where Shiny Ribs and Shiny Ribs
Kevin.
Kevin Russell's just awesome, and he part tent revival, part musician,
Yeah.
And he talked about don't get caught up in the big music. Do yourself a favor, hire a local band to do a show at your house. Really, and it's like, wow, that guy he gets it.
Gets it. Yeah.
Totally part of it. And people forget that everybody we know, including Corey Morrow and Roger Krager, will play for a private party or your business is having a grand opening. Yep. And reach out to those guys and go, hey, how much would it be for you guys to show up and play 3 hours at my family Christmas party or at our company Christmas party?
I think you hear people talk about all the big concerts and stuff they go to, but nowadays too, you hear about stories when, man, I saw these guys in this little room and it was all, they were torn down. They didn't have a lot of gear. It was just us and the music. And that's what's so cool that a lot of people don't always have a chance to do that. And that's, if you ever get a chance to see somebody up close where it's that,
that intimate and just get to, the other thing is though, when you got to hire these people for your shows, know what you're getting. If you want cover band, get you one.
Yeah.
But when you got people out there doing the singer-songwriter thing, have the original shows, and you bring them in, it's not fun for anybody if they don't know the songs you want that you want to request all night, and then they're not having a good time not knowing the songs.
Yeah.
And there's some guys out there though, they're walking jukeboxes into the best of both worlds. You get
both.
You're damn drawing blanks now. Jody Booth and Jason Allen, those guys, they have them. They're songwriters and and Tim Nichols too.
Yeah.
But they can outright a lot of people.
Sure.
But they also know every country
They
song
know
ever
all of
written.
them.
Yeah.
Right.
So they can do both.
Well,
And-
it's like Josh Ward playing honky tonks for so long,
Mhm.
and I mean he does that scene so well, and he's got a just tremendous vocabulary of
Right.
stuff that not only that he knows, but he's written. He's just written a ton of stuff too. But
Mhm.
but it's like you said, best of both worlds. They can play covers and do really great on those, or they can
Yep.
do their original stuff, and it's just unreal. So
I'll play the cover of anybody that plays my songs as their covers. That's nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Huh.
What's
trade off,
Yeah,
swap.
just trade off. Well, boys, it's been a lot of fun, but we're at the end of our time.
Yeah, it's clock on the wall.
All right.
So we got Friday. Don't forget to be there early for load in.
Okay,
Band
I'll try.
meeting, band
Tell
meeting.
Adam. Make sure
Tell
to
Adam.
Adam Walker.
Pass
Madam
that
Walker.
along. But no, thanks for coming in, being a part of my little show here. I'm hoping it's getting nice and big, but I hope you guys can come and do it even more often, and maybe we'll team up and make fun of somebody
And
else.
make someone
on the couch.
really uncomfortable. Yeah, that's cool. I'm all for
I'm
that.
good.
What's
with
the
that.
point of
Yeah,
having
we're
a
both
cast-
good at
What's
that, yeah.
the point of having a casting couch if it's not uncomfortable?
Right?
I don't. So yeah, we got the Do-Si-Do Green Room couch in here, and that's not because they sponsor us. It's because this thing actually came from.
And it's
The
fun to watch
Do-Si-Do Green
Kevin
Room.
get up out of it too.
Yeah, it is kind of
It's-
fun to
it's
watch
an
Kevin
event.
get
Fun
out
of
of
the
it.
old guy.
But hey, guys, if I don't catch you, no, I'll be here next week. I think I'll be here next week.
Yeah, it's after Christmas party.
It's the after Christmas party,
And
so
pre-New
the
Year.
pre-New Year
There
party.
you
So
go.
maybe these guys will join us again. Maybe they won't. I have no
You
idea.
never know.
But until then, thanks. You can listen to this live every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. unless I can't figure out what button to push, and then it might be a little delayed. But just get your TuneIn app and then look for KTXF The Real. And as always, I'll podcast it and put it out there on the interwebs, wherever you get your podcasts. But thanks, everybody, for listening, and we will see y'all next week. Have a good one.
Cigar time.
Travel in Texas, been riding for days. Travel in Texas, it's no cowboy's dream. Heading south to the valley in that old Spanish rain. Travel in Texas, no cowboys sing. Take the heart of a Mustang, it can never be tamed. Ride an old blue northern across the Panhandle plains. Travel in Texas, neath the moon and the sun. Travel in Texas, these highways roll on. On the deck of the Maverick in an old hurricane, south down by Houston, they're moving out into space. The eyes of Texas, the hearts and the hands, say welcome stranger, you know Texas means friend. Where cotton is king, cattle is king, oil is king, land of blue water, lakes of gold. Travel in Texas.
Bye, y'all.